Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to my channel. My name is Whitney. I am a professional intuitive and astrologer. I am so honored to have you here today. And in this video, we're going to talk everything Mercury retrograde. First, we're going to begin with what is Mercury retrograde? What is the scientific explanation to this? Then we're going to get into what you can expect during Mercury retrograde. What is it exactly? And then we're going to talk about the shadow periods. So let's get into it. And before we get started, I invite you to visit my website for all things magic, all things holistic. You can find us at that link below. And I invite you to visit my social medias where you'll see more information, and subscribe and like this video for more content weekly. I love you. Now let's get started. So guys, let's talk facts. And I want to explain this in the most simplest form. When it comes to Mercury retrograde, what people are experiencing is this illusion in the sky that Mercury is going backwards. But what really is happening is Mercury has become closer to the Earth. See, normally when Mercury is direct, there is the sun between Earth and Mercury. And so there's that beautiful interference in a good way with the sun and Mercury together. Well, when Mercury is retrograde, it tends to go closer to the Earth and no bypass, no interference from the sun. So what's happening is we get Mercury's qualities more intensely because it's in partnership with the Earth. We feel it in such a higher level than we normally do. Now let's talk about what Mercury retrograde actually is. Now, understanding the science of the illusion of Mercury going backwards, this is a time when Mercury retrograde is about going backwards internally. Let's talk about what Mercury represents. Let's just give a few examples. Mercury is about the mental processes of life, the way you perceive things, the way you communicate, how you write. And it's not just how you write, it's what you write, the context of what's being written. It's what we as astrologers consider the lower mind. And what the higher mind would be Jupiter, Sagittarius energy, where it's what's big, what's bold, what's out there. Mercury focuses on the here, the now, what's in front of us, the logic, the practicality of what every day is happening, of what you're feeling, of what you're thinking, what you're experiencing. It focuses on the details. That's what Mercury is all about. Now, I don't want to leave out a few simple things. What I just gave you was the overview of what Mercury rules, but it also rules neighbors, it rules siblings, it rules communication, written, social media, travel. And the thing is, because Mercury moves so quickly, we are going to be interacting with people, we're going to be traveling, we're going to be speaking and engaging more. So I want to make sure I'm not leaving those points out as well. Now that we know what Mercury rules and what it's associated with, again, when we think of Mercury retrograde, this is a time of rethinking, reconsidering, readjusting, renegotiating. Anything with the word re in front of it is great for Mercury retrograde. Now, in my humble opinion, Mercury retrograde is such a blessing. The reason I say this is because right before Mercury goes retrograde, we have what astrologers call a shadow period. And in this shadow period, it gives you insights about what Mercury retrograde is about to address. So 3 weeks before the actual retrograde, we might start having questions and feelings, and we may want directions and clarity on something. Well, once retrograde is over, those things that we were feeling, those things that we were questioning, they get clarity, they get answers, they get insight, they get wisdom. So I always look at Mercury retrograde as a season where you can go back, you can reanalyze, restructure, renegotiate, rethink everything we just talked about on the things that mean something to you and the things that are important to you. And then once it goes direct, we have another beautiful shadow period where you start to get those answers you are looking for. So while I do believe Mercury retrograde is such a blessing in itself, there are some things that we as astrologers like to tell people to be mindful of when this period is going on in stars. The first thing is anything that requires a contractual agreement, signing a house, buying a new car, accepting a new job, we really caution you with that, just because, again, Mercury rules these things, the written material, the contract, the paperwork, the check, and you want to make sure that you're getting what is owed and what is deserved. Another thing we like to talk about is travel. Again, because Mercury is a fast planet, travel and communication may start to be impacted, where you might see your technology, have to be replaced or repaired. You might see some delays in that. And when it comes to travel, you may see those same delays. Now, this doesn't mean you can't talk or you can't travel, you can't take that job, or you can't do whatever. We just always caution you to make sure you're reanalyzing, revisiting, making sure everything is exactly structured the way that you intend it to. Now, I will tell you, sometimes you'll be fine, and other times Mercury retrograde will come in and it won't go like that. So the best thing to do in these situations is just be open for this period of time. Be open to flexibility, be open to change, be open to things being different. And if you're a spiritual being, which I'm sure you are because you're watching this, then not all delays are denials, and not all reroutes are bad routings. Like, sometimes we fully believe that you are being rerouted to your highest and greatest good. So I encourage you to look at it like that. Now that you've learned everything that you need to know about Mercury retrograde, the one thing I'll leave you with is that not all Mercury retrogrades are made alike, as I'm sure you can imagine. Depending on where Mercury is transiting and the sign it may or may not transit into will affect you greatly. It'll affect you on a personal level, and it'll affect you on a collective level. Now, if you want to know how this will personally affect you, I highly encourage you to check your birth chart. You can run a free one online, and I have a video on how to do that in the links below. Also, if you just want a personal horoscope from me for you specifically, you can visit our website where we have specific horoscope offerings just for you, and that link is down below too. Happy manifesting, love Mercury retrograde, don't fear it, and I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to like and subscribe for more. Bye!